Here is why the denizens of Birmingham cannot grapple with employment law. This piece of machinery is not actually compliant with the clinic's protocols, because on the back there isn't the little man that says medical device. So in every country in the world, if you show medical device to another human being, if they're educated, they're going to back off when you say, "I'm not really interested, mate, go away." You're not really going to question it, because this is clearly marked with official markings. This is sold by a German company, they're a reputable company, and they produce these things on the commercial markets. This thing is an exact replica of the one though sold by the clinic. It's just not, it doesn't have the same packaging on the back. To get access to this machine though, and this is still legal because the paperwork in my pocket says I can use what it takes by law, and therefore if the police stop me, the clinic will look at this thing and say, yeah, totally fine, it's a minor administrative error, I've got a medical device on my shelf at home with a 3-bar charge, it's broken, so we've got a paper trail saying I can use this. And what it allows me to do is also drive, to use heavy machinery and just work normally. So most people can go about their day just using this machine, which is used by a doctor. So another evening, I was wandering about my evening, and I happened to cross the Banshee Labyrinth up there, and I had a delightful discussion with the doorman about violence, body parts, murder, terrorism, tanks, the army, all that kind of stuff. But he was a doorman, so we were both in sort of officious mode. So he was saying, "Hello sir, are you on anything else?" And I was saying, no, just jet fuel pie, mate, just what the clinic gives me, that kind of stuff. And eventually he realised that I was just going to be a sort of a jovial creature in the night, talk about murder for a bit, then vanish. So he was happy with that, and was happy the further evening when he spotted me in a different form. The Brummies can't cope with it though, because it's my machine, so nobody in this place can tell me what to do with it. So when the Mayor of Manchester, or the prospective Mayor of Manchester, is in a car park and saying, well, we've had complaints, you can say, well, I don't care, I'm not going anywhere, it's not just the law, it's the social realms. If you want to come up to me and whinge at me, A, I couldn't care less, and B, by standing here and telling you no, other weaker people come after me, you may think twice before behaving like this, because your aggression towards me could obviously, if you think about it, get them hurt, couldn't it? So, you've stood up to somebody looking at the highest job in that city. Shame you didn't get through, but maybe for the next campaign that's something to think of. Can you sensibly think about British law and behave humanely at the same time? One of the things the machine does is make you behave more humanely. So it creates a euphoric that helps with psychotherapy and getting over various violent episodes that you're just going to have if you work in compliance. People getting attacked is just what happens in life, sadly. And if your family history is getting blown apart, body parts, death and war, that's just going to be something you need. So the doctor says, well, this guy's pretty well educated, he can behave like an adult, so yeah, fine. The problem though is the employer can't, because they're idiots. They're silly little women behaving badly behind computers because they've been receiving money from central government to do so, and now they've been caught during the pandemic behaving terribly badly, and now people are going to have to start looking at it. So because they're afraid of losing their money and their women, and there are men around who'll be sycophantic and go along with their nonsense, they're getting away with it day after day after day until somebody with some kind of authority shows up. So the person who can show up can be in Edinburgh, around here, but they will have to be at some point, so wait for the bus to go by, they will have to at some point be in Birmingham, so the place where we work. Now there are many candidates for who that could be. So at the top end we've got the police, who are doing theatre performances in Sutton Gymnasium. I don't know what they've been taking, but that was very interesting. We've got Andrew Mitchell, who can't actually investigate anything at all, including, I don't know, the local grammar school, that kind of stuff. We've got Jess Phillips, who's teaming up with him because she's afraid of rope. We've got various women in Scotland who aren't afraid of rope and aren't afraid of her. We've got the Muslim warlord who had a heart attack, and his war boss now has access to corporate communications. We've got a lonely spared who has no friends, no man in his life, no lap pull down machine, no cannabis, and his mouth has been contorted to revolting shapes by the evil wizard Darren Canning, who's going to be arrested because he's done no occupational health for several years, along with Justin Varney, who got away with being a seriously incompetent charlatan and dangerous to boot by conjuring up magic Native American spirits to placate Green Lane before fleeing the city. All of these cretins can look at the piece of equipment that I'm now legally allowed to possess under British law, have a chat with NHS England, find these absolute morons and drag them back to the city in chains, along with a solicitor representing me in terms of medical negligence, because my late father's a pile of ash sitting in Monkston Road, while my dithering old mother waits around to be robbed for equity or stabbed to death by somebody under the purview of the Mayor of Birmingham. Once again, if any of these statements offend you, I don't care for obvious reasons. I'm looking for someone in authority to get off their backside, do some work, and respond to their tank-sized court officer who's standing in central Edinburgh howling into a nuclear-defended bunker server saying, "Where are these cretins? Go fetch." This tone of voice is totally abnormal if you work in many professional settings, but if you work in the hardest compliance there is, in a city like Birmingham, many people over 70 years have heard it and have done as they are told at gunpoint, because we have the backing of the law. So when we say the head of the city's worst crime family, I'm not playing with you, I'm not arguing with you, I'm not conjuring a demon out of the ether. I'm telling you that we have the legitimate authority of the state because we've spent 17 years attacking people on behalf of the local authority. We're saying we're not continuing to do that because we can't. It's not that I don't want to, it's not my opinion on the matter, it's my professional expertise that department cannot run, will not run, and will be shut down by police. So their offices will be raided, the offices of the city solicitor will be raided, and these women with computers will be pulled away from them by force, separated by police, spoken to under caution about their behaviour, and then the organisation will be reset under terms that are amenable to the head of state. If you look at Parvini, that is logically the king, and the king is absent. So if the king is not responding to his court officers, then the chain of responsibility between senior people in his administration and him have totally broken down. His tank-sized court officer has gone off their fucking arse, has dug in with a bunker next to his gaff, and is now shelling his city from orbit. Well, I can walk into his house and put it with my feet on the sofa while he hides. We've now got high-def cameras to pick this guy up, and drones are coming. A response is expected in a polite and professional manner by someone in the legal profession early tomorrow. If they're not doing it, walk into any law firm in the city and just show this to them, see if this guy can get a solicitor and some cash. Do any wagon chasing lawyers or ambulance chasers want money? But if our current Genghis Khan in charge of our particular operation, who isn't actually me despite all this, is donating his salary away to help people in his constituency, then we'll do that as well. So there are plenty of people up north that the McGraths have helped out while we're here. We'll continue to help them out, along with the cretins in Birmingham. But unless Deborah.Agentieri can show a similar record since November of last year, this woman can shut her fucking mouth or come up north and actually face me in public. Get her up north in chains unless she will do so.